So the fourth reason people have blowouts, and this is the most important thing that I have. Hi everybody, it's Steph from Deb's RV Services and welcome to today's video. I'm a certified inspector and a registered technician. And I have been seeing posts about people having blowouts with their RV tires. And I've talked about tires before, but I wanted to dive deeper into tires. I need to go over with you 4 ways that your tire can have a blowout on the road and how you can prevent this from happening to you. Number 1 is the DOT. And I have discussed this in other videos, but I'm going to go through it again in case you haven't watched those. The DOT is the date on the tire, and it gives you, it's a 4-digit code. It's going to give you, the first 2 digits are the week that it was created in the year. So in a calendar year, that week that it was created. And then the last 2 digit is the year it was created. So for instance, my tires are 2021 tires. The last 2 digits say 21. I know that my tires are now going on their 4th year. So if in 2025, they'll be 4 years old. So I need to start replacing mine in 2026 because they're going to be 5 years old. Now that's one method, and I have really good tires, and I know that they rotate a lot because I do a lot of driving. I do measure my tread periodically to make sure that my tread hasn't worn out before the 5 years, because I have a car and I have cheap China tires on my car, and they were not due to be changed out for another 2 years. And the tread was so worn out that I needed to replace my tires after 3 years. I do drive a lot in my car. So that's one of the reasons. The other reason is probably they're cheaper tires. And so after 3 years, I just change them out. So you want to make sure that you're checking out that DOT code on your tires and that you are replacing your tires every 5 years or sooner if needed. The second reason why people have blowouts is that the PSI or tire pressure is not correct. So you have a sticker that is either on a sidewall or it's in the door jamb if you have a motorhome, and it has a recommended amount. It will say front, it will say rear. So for instance, the front axle area might be rated for 70 PSI. So you want to make sure that those tires are at 70 PSI. Cold. This is not after you've driven. You want it to be that when they're cold. The rear might be different. The rear might say 65 PSI, cold. You always want to check your inflation when it's cold, not after you've driven. So if you don't have the correct PSI, and let's say so there are a few things that can happen. So if you don't have correct pressure, you could have tires that wear on the outside of your tire. And so then you have the tread that's wearing incorrectly, or it could happen on the inner part of your tire. You could have an axle issue that wears it on just the inner part. There's all kinds of things, but you always want to make sure that you're looking at how your tread wears and you want it to be uniform. So keeping your pressure at the recommended amount is going to help you in those cases. Now you can have other issues with axle problems that cause your the tires to wear differently. So you always want to get your tires checked periodically just to make sure you don't have anything else going on. But in general, you want to keep that pressure correct, because if you have your tire pressure incorrectly and then it heats up too much, you can have a blowout because it overheated. Which leads me into the third reason, and that could be overheating. So I didn't know this for the longest time, but if you are driving in really sunny, hot climates, like in the summer, like Arizona, your tires are going to start out at a temperature that's already high. It's already elevated. I have seen my tires start out at 100 degrees here in Arizona. I didn't realize that I had better be careful and maybe only drive it maybe 3 hours and then give it a rest break, because I don't want to overheat my tires to the point where they have a blowout. So it is recommended. Having a tire pressure monitoring system is first and foremost one of the most important tools you can have in your RV. I am going to link the one that I have in the description of this. It really wasn't the most expensive one. You can order other types. You can order whichever one you prefer, but I have been fine with the one that I have. And I always turn this on. It just, you have to take a USB, it takes USB and it charges up. And then you can just turn it on. You can monitor while you're driving. You can look at your tire pressure and you can look at the temperature. So what you want to do is you want to make sure that when you are in hotter climates, that you are not over driving your RV. You also want to make sure that you're not sitting for long periods of time in direct sun without covering your tires. If you're only staying in a park for like a week or short term, you don't need to cover your tires every time you stay at an RV park. I don't worry about that because I'm constantly driving on my tires and I'm warming them up and they're fine. They're working fine, and it's actually better to use it. It's like that saying, if you don't use it, you lose it. And with the tires, if you don't use it, they get rigid and they don't have that pliability like clay. You want them to move. And so if you're not using your RV, it really is important to cover them up with protection in the direct sun. So if it's going to be extended periods of time, if you're a snowbird and you're going out to a park and you're staying for 6 months, definitely cover those tires and keep them out of the sun. So the fourth reason people have blowouts, and this is the most important thing that I have recently seen people on Facebook groups and forums talk about, that I wanted to make a note of, is the speed rating. Did you know that travel trailers, those special tires with that ST rating, that they have a speed limit, a lot of them that does not go over 65 miles per hour? When people are driving these travel trailers down the highway, they think that the recommended 65 or under or 60 miles per hour is just because it's not good to tow at high speeds. That's not true. It's because the tire is actually not even rated to go above 65. So for instance, my tire's rated to go up to 100, but I'm not going to go 100 miles per hour in my motorhome. I'm still going to stay down to about 65 miles per hour, sometimes 70. But my tire allows for that. My travel trailer tire only allowed for 65 miles per hour. I would not be going 65. I would be going 55 or 60 because you're just so close to that window of going over. And if you're driving imagine all these things put together. Say your tire is a little older. Say it is not wearing correctly because you don't have the pressure at the right PSI that's recommended by the manufacturer. You're going down the road. What if your load is too heavy and now you're heating up the tires and you're going faster than the recommended speed of 65 and you're going at 65 or higher? You are asking for a blowout. This is so dangerous, and I don't think people are aware of it. I was never aware of it when I was towing. I didn't even know there was a speed rating on tires. This is so important for people to understand because they don't know why it's happening. They have a blowout, they have a newer RV, they're driving down the road, but they're going 70 miles per hour. They're exceeding that recommended speed rating. Now, to find your speed rating, I couldn't find it on my tire. I did not have the code. I had to go on the Michelin website and find it for me. But when I looked at it on my car, I could find it. Next to that full number, like you'll have, say, ST225, whatever it is, you'll have the number associated with your tire. Next to that, you will have like 2 numbers and a letter. The letter is the actual speed rating. So if you don't know, I would go to the manufacturer's website and I would look up your speed rating for your tire. But typically, travel trailer ST tires, you cannot go over 65. So make sure when you get out there on the road that you are within the right time frame, that you have the correct PSI, that you are not overheating your tires. And the fourth one is to know your speed rating. You can now book appointments with me directly through Google Meet or phone call. I do a 30 or 60 minute consultation question and answer session. I also will consult with you on your own inspection that you've done, whether you've used my checklist or any other method of watching a video. You go through and take videos and pictures of an RV. You want to know if there are red flag items and you want to consult with me on them. I offer a 1-hour coaching consultation for that. I also offer a meeting with me to help you find an RV of your choice. This is not finding a RV that's for sale. This is finding an RV that gives you, I'll give you 3 options of the type of RV based on the type of camping that you want to do. Do you want a full-time? Are you looking at doing off-grid camping? Or do you want to mainly be in campgrounds? How big, how small, budget, all those things we will discuss. And then I will come up with 3 options for you. And so if you want to book any of those appointments, please go ahead and click the link below. And I have dates in there that are available. And if you go on there and you find that there's not a time available, just contact me because I can always add in different dates there. Right now, I just have it set up for 2 days out of the week and just various time frames available, but I can always adjust that. So I look forward to helping you prepare to get out there. You guys have a great, safe rest of your week, and I will see you on the next video.